In Nehemiah chapter 2, Nehemiah sets out to inspect the walls surrounding Jerusalem. And so we pick things up beginning in verse 11. I went to Jerusalem, and after staying there 3 days, I set out during the night with a few others. I had not told anyone what my God had put in my heart to do for Jerusalem. There were no mounts with me, except for the one that I was riding on. By night, I went out through the valley gate toward the Jackal Well and the Dung Gate, examining the walls of Jerusalem, which had been broken down, and its gates, which had been destroyed by fire. Then I moved on toward the Fountain Gate and the King's Pool, but there was not enough room for my mount to get through. So I went up the valley by night, examining the wall. Finally, I turned back and re-entered through the valley gate. The officials did not know where I had gone or what I was doing, because as yet I had said nothing to the Jews or the priests or nobles or officials or any others who would be doing the work. Then I said to them, "You see the trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been burned with fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace." I also told them about the gracious hand of my God on me, and what the king had said to me. And they replied, "Let us start rebuilding." So they began this good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite, Tobiah the Ammonite official, and Geshem the Arab heard about it, they mocked and ridiculed us. "What is this you're doing?" they asked. "Are you rebelling against the king?" I answered them by saying, "The God of heaven will give us success. We are his servants, or we his servants will start rebuilding. But as for you, you have no share in Jerusalem, or any claim or historic right to it." With its walls torn down, Jerusalem was defenseless against her enemies. So Nehemiah assembled a team to rebuild the walls. Now, he had no training for this job. He wasn't an architect or a builder. Jerusalem was far away, and he had never been there. Any way you look at it, Nehemiah was unqualified for the job. And that's a common denominator with many of the people that God has used in a remarkable way. Noah was a farmer, called to build a boat in the desert. David was a shepherd, called to topple a Philistine champion. Nehemiah was a cupbearer, called to rebuild Jerusalem's walls. And me? I was just a sports writer and broadcaster that couldn't get full-time work, called to work with youth. When it comes to doing God's will, God-ordained passions are considerably more important than any human ability that we can contribute. In fact, God often uses us at our point of greatest inability. That way, he receives all the credit. But understand this. When God gives you a burden or a passion or a vision, you have a choice to make. Nehemiah already had a good job. Being the king's cupbearer was like being his right-hand man. He didn't simply enjoy job security, he enjoyed the perks and the privileges of his position. He would have been comfortable staying right where he was. But if he had chosen to do that, he would have missed God's will. He would have missed having a book named after him in the Bible. And you wouldn't be hearing about him right now. So the question for today is, are you feeling unqualified? Remember, when God calls you, he equips you, resources you, guides you, and guarantees your success. That is something to remember and hang on to. And I have to ask, are you called to build a house and spread the love of Jesus in Guatemala? Our Guatemala mission team will be headed to Guatemala May 31st through June 7th. And we will be working on house construction, everything from heavy lifting to landscaping and painting. You can contact Pastor Mike in the church office for more information. And don't forget to put this Friday and Saturday, 7:30 p.m., on your calendar for a star shown. And if you're feeling called to be a part of this outreach into our World Golf Village community, we are still looking for a few more cast and crew members. You can contact the church office to learn more. Have a great week, and I'll be back on Friday as we look at a big chunk of John chapter 5. Hope to see you then. But until then, have a great day and know that Jesus loves you.